Hi there, traders. So let's first talk about oil, and let's see. We have this nice movement upsides. So first thing, like when we go back, you see the last time when we was in the same zone, market is going up, and before that, here market was in the same zone, and it was going up. The first time going up, second time going up, and now the market is third time back here. And now, like, how we can trade that, because we have already like some kind of support, what is supporting to. That's pretty, like, how to say, we have good energy here to push market higher. So the first thing what we have here is we have this level of the holder above here, and like we see, we actually break above it and retest nicely. So the principle is break above, retest, and going higher. The second thing is, now when we are back to this rejection lows what we created already previously, like we have absolutely perfect principle here. Like we have this nice W pattern with nice breaking structure, nice retest, and going above it. Like you see, it's super good. All those long entries here, like you see, it's super valid. Now when market is back this level of the holder what we have previously here, like look at this healthy candlestick, super healthy, close above all zone, close above it, retest that zone, break the structure. Now we retest the zone again, we retest that zone again, and just going nicely higher. Super good. And now we are already moving. Same thing, we have this new zone here. Principle is breaking, retest, and going higher. And like we see, we break absolutely beautifully, retest, and going higher. Like to take those trades here, I think it's very solid ground. Like those are the same principles how you can take the trades, next trade what's upcoming. So yesterday goal was making that sell trade what we was talking about here. So when we're gonna break that zone, then we're gonna go back in those zones. And what was happening yesterday, soon as when we break that low back here, let's say we're gonna break that low, that was your entry, stop loss above here, and take profit was that level or that level here, and now market is pushing back all the way here. But still, like, it's very principled trade, as soon as when we break that, that's the only place where we're gonna go, because there is the free energy here. Bitcoin still doing the same movement. When we had this first buy, second buy was triggered, take profit still here. Yeah, but Dow Jones was kind of similar thing. We break this level of the holder here, retest other sides, going back to the rejection zone, and even more when we're gonna break this level of the holder here, it's still holding, the same level what we retest here, the same level of the holder what is meant to go higher. You see this one? Yep, nice. Look at this doji and that bullish engulfing candlestick, and then we have this market behavior pattern here above it and just going higher. But the main thing today will be to look the higher time frames, because my students in Discord, they been asking me, like, because I'm doing everything in 50 minute time frames already, like 4 to 5 years. So I'm gonna try to do something. I'm not very good at in that, I'm pretty sure, but let's see what's coming about this here. So the first thing, see this huge wick, we actually grab this energy here, that candlestick. We're gonna take that wick low and that body low, and we're gonna drag this one here. So we see we actually grab this energy here, so it's like want to go higher. So the next thing is, I don't see those weekly retests. You know, when we have this breaking structure, I don't see the retest here weekly. And the same thing is here. When we have breaking structure, I don't see the weekly retests. And the next thing is gonna be this zone here for me, because the principle is actually we're gonna going here, going back, and we're gonna break it. So right now you see we're going down, going up, and break it. So the next principle can be actually we're gonna retest that zone and going all the way back here. So this can be one plan in my head, but let's see, because the price is not even there, and we have to remember those retest zones because it's weekly. So let's go in daily, what's happening daily. So daily, first thing what I see is we have this level of the holder here, and we see actually we break nicely, retest, double retest, and start going somewhere, you know. Looks like we already kind of struggle, you know. We have huge weak downsides, so we have to break those highs here. Look at daily. Actually daily we have retests, and so daily we have actually one retest here, but the second retest not done. So daily is retested and both weekly is not retested, and the second daily is not retested. You know, there is something. Here is the level of the holder in daily. We're holding, breaking, and retest done. What is good? So what is 4 hour doing here? Well, definitely first thing 4 hour what I see is this rejection high. So we have to break that. So actually we break that rejection high. Let's put so, and looks like we retest rejection high. So we have to go at least back. You know, maybe this here. We have to at least broke this one to even to go higher. You know. But let's see what is 4 hour up here. So actually 4 hour is retested too, and both zones, you see, both those zones are 4 hour retested, 4 hour retested, and here 4 hour retested. So daily is not retested and weeklies are not retested. Daily is only one. So there can be something, you know, price might go back those zones, but depends of that huge zone, because you know the principle is actually to push that back all the way here, all the way back here. But we might go, you know, we might go build this one up here and kind of retest those zones and go back all the way. But we don't know basically anything, we have to just look when the price is there. So the first thing is just this one here and nothing else basically. It's just patient game. But that's the thing in looking those higher time frames, you know, like you have to memorize much more things and you have to see much more things, you know, like we make those things and we make those lines and then we have this weekly retest and stuff. You know, it's too much noise for me personally. That's why I don't trade anymore higher time frames, because it's too much noise. You know, you have those zones in your head, you have these zones in your head, like the price can be in that zone like maybe, I don't know, 2 months or something like that, you know. That's why I'm more interested in only the lower time frames. But when we look inside here, we see actually we have nice retest here. You know, when we have this level of the holder here, breaking structure, nice retest, double retest, and the same level here. what is underneath that, same thing, super goodly, nice and retested. So only what is not retested is weekly those zones and weekly that zone. So most likely I think we're gonna go back at least one of those zones, 1, 2 and 3, because the principle is go back, retest, going lower, and the same principle is here. We go back, retest, lower, and we go back, retest and lower. But let's look this inside here now in back here. So yeah, that was the entry basic here right now, this long entry. Take profit back here and stop loss above that candlestick here. So this is the trade what is going today right now of those principles what we look in the higher time frames. So breaking structure and retest and going higher. So 6.3 risk reward ratio here. Looks perfect trades. Let's see, can we do, look at that oil, wow, look at how nicely we're gonna break that. And let's click the original zone here. So that's the original zone here. Nice. Let's do this one, let's delete this stuff here. So let's do the oil, same thing, weekly. Let's see what we have here. What we have here in weekly. So one same thing. We don't have this retest here. Then we have this. This has huge structure here. Other thing gonna be this one here. Rejection this one. We might retest that back. So this is going to be weekly. So we have this rejection lows here, not retested. So then we have this rejection lows here with this double retest here. So 1, 2, 3, respecting one. And then we have this zone what we have double retested. So I want to see what is inside that zone in lower time frames. Like when we go daily, back in daily. Now we're pushing higher. So the first daily zone what we see is here, but that thing is nicely retested. You see we're holding here, we're breaking above and retest here, and the same thing. So okay, daily basic I don't see anything more. Let's go 4 hour. Like 4 hours, same, you know, it's nicely retested. 4 hour here in that zone is nicely retested. So in 4 hour we see we have rejection zone, rejection zone, rejection zone, above it, and rejection zone and rejection zone. So this zone is gonna be huge rejection zone, and it's not retested in 4 hour, and it's not retested in daily too. So this can be one zone what actually can pull back, you know. It was kind of similar story what we have that sell here. So now we have so we have that zone here somewhere. This zone I think was. So same thing, we didn't have daily retest here. So we had all those highs, but now market was going back, and now we was doing the daily retest here, and after you know, the rejection was crazy. You know, when I show you this one here, so okay, this was a little bit lower, but it's going 1 hour. You see this rejection area here. Like soon as when we retest rejection area, we're going all the way back. So there is something what this, you know, a little bit. We're going this little much above it, and price was going all the way back to the same zone where we found all this energy to push it, you know, back this one. So most likely we can go back this one, but it's gonna be the kind of same structure, you know. But I don't know right now because the price is back to the same zone. It's kind of like, you know, we've been 3 times here already, but maybe it's possible because we break the structure. We was going back here, we didn't break the low structure, so let's just see. But right now, yeah, we can go back all those zones, to be honest. But yeah, the principle of that zone is gonna be retest and going back. So 4 hour, back to 4 hour. Jackson zones, that's huge one. Nice sell. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, I'm not very good anymore to realize those 4 hour things, you know. So that was, here was some 4 hour very good buy opportunity, you know. We break the structure, retest, and we have this W structure. Then we have this W structure here too. Breaking and retest and going higher. Because right now this structure, that's the pure rejection structure. You see, we have huge impulse candlestick and we are back in a straight away and now breaking this high. So actually this can be awesome to see, to break those 2 highs here. So because break those 2 highs and then we have this zone here. So the principle will be break, retest, and going that zone. So this is gonna be trade, most likely. But we have to break nicely, we have to reject nicely, and then we have to go. But that push is nice, I love it. You know. Then we have this rejection here. You know, this pattern reminds me like the inward head and shoulders pattern, you know. Head and shoulders pattern, but opposite down, opposite. But back to those higher time frames. I don't know, guys. Like, I'm not very positive of those higher time frames thinking, because you have to memorize too many stuff, you know, too many noise. You know, like you're thinking like, okay, price can go back up here. Like why you need to hold those things in your head, you know? Like the price can be back here, like maybe like, I don't know, a few weeks. But you look in trade somewhere here still, you know, like if you want to trade somewhere here, so why you need this information in your head? Like market maybe even don't go back at all there, you know. Tomorrow maybe price is back here, and then you're like maybe holding some kind of longs here, and you get stopped out and stuff like that. I think to protect our mindset is very important. Like, I think even super important. So less noise we are let in is better, much better. Let's look this original one. Woo! Ding 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 ding. But that candlestick is huge. How many pips that thing is? Woo! 34 pips. Crazy. But yeah, this you know how to long that thing is, you know, it's very simple principle. You see, when we break after that rejection low, we break, you know, that's the extension move downside. So the principle is we're gonna hold that thing here, and now we get rejected. So what is the principle? We have to go back all the way, level of the holder, and break it, retest it, and go now lower. But what was happening? That our movement down, we didn't go any more lower now, and now we break the structure higher. You see how this move actually break the structure. We break those highs, so now we make the new level here above this one here. You see this tiny one level because we break the structure upside and we make this level here, and this level is meant to go higher, like that. Like we're talking about those levels a lot. And now you see we get rejected, 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 and now we break this structure and we retest. You see it perfectly how we retesting. So we break this one and we retest here, and we're going straight back here. You know, we have perfect rejection, like perfect principle. And then next thing what we're gonna make here is just beautiful W structure with nice breaking structure and retest and going back up. You know, it's super beautiful. Like we have to see those zones. Like we have to see those things. You know, we have played nicely, and then we break this zone, retest that zone, and we have another retest and just pushing higher. And the same thing, we have this structure break here, and we create the same thing, another same level, exactly the same level, but we create back here, and the same level is same thing. It's meant to go higher, and the principle is break and retest. And what we're gonna do here, we break and we retest perfectly and just going higher. Like look at that trade if you're holding right now, that trade. Like come on boys, it's like beautiful. And look at that trade if you're holding like that trade already here, and maybe even you re-enter here and you re-enter here. Like you can close the trading view and go traveling 1 year basically after those 3 trades, you know. Let's do example, just example boys. So that's the first trade. Back here, let's see, just example, you know. This one here, stop loss gonna be above this last push higher. Look at this risk reward ratio already, 14.5. Come on. So the second one, after the W break and retest here, let's say all the way back here. Let's say we're gonna be the crazy stuff. Let's be stop loss above the rejection lows. Done. So the next trade, this zone break and retest, take profit here, and the stop loss above the zone, a little bit above the zone. And let's say this one here, break and retest, hold here, stop loss. Let's say this week high here. So this one. So those risk reward ratios, 14, 10, 6.6, 6.3. Come on. Where is the camp? Where is my backpack? I gotta put my tent, hammock, tarp. I'm gone, boys. Go into nature. Just relax, take some breathing exercise. But that's the principles. That was every single principle here. Come on. And now is the question, like, why you wanna trade higher time frames? It's not necessary at all. Like we have all zones already. You know, this zone I have already made here. When we have this retest and retest here, this zone is already here. So you don't need more zones. Come on. That's the thing, we have to keep the mind, you know, clear. Especially the training mindset. But look at that. That thing is pushing. Another thing here, you see we have this full extension movement and pullback. Like when you're gonna you know, box that thing in, we have the same, even the same mindset this year, same principle. We're gonna break it and retest. You see, we're gonna break nicely above it. Let's gonna zoom in. We break above it, retest, like super clear retest, and just go higher. Like all those principles are gonna play out all the way. But that's the thing, like I'm principle trader basically. Like there is not such a thing like strategy. Basically for me, for my mindset, there is not such a thing. There is just principles, and if you follow those principles and journey, those are your entries, those are your trains, and and how strong your mindset is and how patient and how disciplined you are, you can hold those trades like crazy, you know. Like imagine when you hold that sell, what I have, you know, this one here. When you hold that sell, let's say all the way back to this rejection zone, look at that risk reward ratio, 33.4. Come on. But okay, I'm gonna finish today. Looks like this thing is doing something here. nice buy. I didn't buy, but I was selling this one here. And yeah, I'm gonna see you every single one tomorrow. I think Postman is here too. I'm gonna see you every single one tomorrow. Ciao.